Hey, 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 happy Friday, TGIF. Thank you guys for being here today. This is your boy James, and you're watching my channel, Watch Your Mouth Reviews, where I'm here to give my honest opinion or review while trying to watch my mouth. Ain't gonna happen this video, but that's all right. No worries about that. We'll live to fight another day. Joining me is my co host, Mrs. Best. Y'all say what's up to her.
Hi, everybody. Happy Saturday. Wait, Friday. Friday. Today's Friday, right?
Today is Friday.
Okay.
Today
Sorry.
is Friday.
I thought today was Saturday, y'all, but hi.
It's one of the child's one of those weeks, y'all. Definitely pray for your boy because I am still going through my stuff. So y'all just continue to pray for me. So without further ado, y'all, Real Housewives of Dubai season 2 episode to review. Y'all, this episode is all over the place. Literally, they are cutting and snipping scenes. So if I miss something, I am so sorry. But it was way too much to keep notes on because nothing made sense. So starting it off, we're actually going into Talene's world. So Bravo gave her a little opening segment, which I love when they do that because it gives us a better grasp of who we're going to be introduced to. So Talene, we're learning about her story. She, of course, moved to Dubai 10 years ago. Her husband's father was an architect and opened a firm and actually built the palms. And where, if you look on the map of Dubai, it actually is centered and looks like an actual palm tree. And they live at the tip of it in the condo. So she said her husband moved them out there when he graduated college in Texas, and that's where they've been all ever since. So Sarah drops by, and Sarah, they getting to know each other. They must have hit it off from the first meeting, and they start talking about her dating life, and she wants to play like a little matchmaker. Talene does. And Sarah was like, Dubai is a melting pot. Usually people who come here, they leave very quickly because they're usually here to do business. So it's a little bit harder for her to meet people. So Talene's like, I got somebody for you, actually. And Sarah kind of looked back like, you do? She goes, yeah, I got somebody for you. And by the time we get to this episode, I'm going to tell you what I think of the person she's trying to set real quick. Because this was when I tell you I would have been so mad at Talene, I probably wouldn't even talk to her no more when we get to the end of this episode. So Brooks comes by and she's hoarse in her voice and she looked hungover. And we're looking at her because she can't even barely talk. I'm like, what is going on? Why is she? And then I forgot she was lit on the day before. And I guess that had happened the day before that whole sit down. And this whole gate, that's what I'm going to call this whole gate. Whatever this happened, she's still holding on to this. I mean, gripping it for dear life. So they go outside to her patio to talk, and they first talk about the Chanel Ayan and Sarah issue. Sarah kind of gives it from her point of view, like, it's just really messed up because I really wish we hadn't had that conversation there. I wanted us to kind of have it there. And what I said was bad. She does attack people and then goes to her childhood to say, well, it's because of my childhood that I'm even like this. And that's what she's saying. And I'm just like, I get where Sarah's coming from, but at the same time, that's not for you to judge. I mean, because realistically, yeah, our childhood traumas. Hey, Shayna. I lost my train of thought just that quick. Sorry, y'all. So happy to see Shayna. But no, my whole thing is this. Yeah, it doesn't make an excuse, but at the same time, we're not saying the same things here. We're not doing the same things. We're not saying, she's not saying, oh, I'm going to slap this girl and then blame it on my childhood. No, it's usually a build up to her anger. And I think that that's where she missed the mark. So, Mrs. Best, what did you feel about Sarah's whole inclination of the whole fight between her and Shania?
Well, first, I'd like to remind everybody that Shayna MCD is a Cancer and her birthday is coming up.
Yes.
As a Gemini, I feel the need to support Cancers because we both misunderstood. Outside of that, Sarah get on my nerves as a whole. She knew what she meant. That's the thing that Sarah does, though. She'll do something shady, and then, as the young people say, she will do the opposite of standing on business. Just admit that that's what the hell you said, and that's how you intended it. No one's gonna expect for the way that we saw Sarah last season. I think she thinks that people are viewing her as an angel or something. Baby girl, we expect for you to go and do something shady, like talk to the press. We expect for you to do that. The part I don't like is if you felt that way about her, then you would have stood on it. You would have really, 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 really have said this more than just in an article, and you would have addressed Chanel about it versus running to the press at least once prior to doing so. So I don't know. Sarah's irritating. She knew what she meant by it.
He,
I think
I
she
agree with you. Oh, go
because
ahead.
Zion blew up, and I would be bothered too if I'm from Dubai and the one person who's truly Emirati, and then the African Somali girl blows up. So I feel like that's what it is with Sarah, but go away,
And
Sarah.
I agree with that. I think a lot of them have this elitist classism. I made it bigger in Dubai than you, and I'm actually from Dubai, so I should hi Naya. I should actually have all of the glitz and glamour and all of the attention on me because I represent. But see, and that's the thing. And that's where I'm like, no. Because to be honest with you, in all realistically, no woman, no actual native of Dubai would actually come on the show due to the conservatorship that they have and the loyalties that they have to their husband. Do you really think they would come on the show?
That's actually true.
So no, I don't. Yeah, exactly. So they weren't going to. They would have loved to. I'm sure Bravo would have loved to have an all Emirati cast. I'm pretty sure that's what they were going for. But unfortunately, the way they were brought up and the conservative and the ownership of their, religion and upbringing and everything, they're not going to put their lives out there like that. Sarah is like excommunicated, like been divorced twice, actually shunned upon in the community, according to her from last season. I'm not putting this out there. She said it herself on the first season. So, of course, she has a little bit more room to actually showcase her life in a way because it's not normal according to their standards.
Yeah.
So I do agree with that. I do agree that that's exactly what it is. Now, at the same token that these three ladies are having a conversation about this, Stansberry, um, Lisa, and Ayan actually meet up, which was crazy because I actually enjoyed those three versus Brooks, Sarah, and Talene. And it's so crazy that they weren't able to get on the same page and actually do like a trio because they would have been bad. Even though I don't like Stansberry, but still, I feel like for her, I feel like Lisa. I don't know. We'll see how this plays out because I already know what happened, like in my mind, but I don't know. I just feel like, damn, Lisa, you could have put some shit to the side and just played with the show just a little bit. Okay, maybe not. So they're having a conversation, and immediately what comes up is the whole Sarah issue, as the other ladies were talking about it too. From Ayan's point, she was just saying, it really hurt her to have to dig that deep because she was abused by her father and everything. And her whole standpoint to Sarah was, I just want to be happy. And if I'm laughing, I'm laughing. If I'm having a good time, like I didn't want to really dig that deep in the first place. But then when I do it, it's not for you to then victim shame me because I'm doing it. And that's where we have a disconnect between the two. Is one feels like, yeah, I'm in this pain. Yes, I can be mean, but at the same time, this is still traumatizing for me. So for you to go out there and do this interview and saying that I'm making an excuse and using my trauma as me trying to equate this of me being a victim, it's really messed up. And it is, you guys, that's really messed up of Sarah to do because I read the article and I was like, that's not what I got from it. She was just trying to be a star. She was
Why
just trying to be on the show.
who is anybody to bring up anybody else's trauma? That's weird. If someone's not talking to you about their trauma, if it's not someone close to you, and if you're not somebody who's, like, let's say, HIPAA protected or a mandated reporter or working in a field where you would hear people's traumas, there's really no reason for y'all to be bringing up other people's trauma. If you have an opinion about it, keep it to yourself. It's not for you to run to the press about. All Sarah showed is that there is nothing about her that's interesting that she had to go and do an article that was about someone else.
And I 100% agree with that. And I felt that when you said that because that's how I feel about this whole situation. And I couldn't word it in that way. So when you said it, that kind of felt like a relief because I feel like I understood where Sarah was coming from, but the part of me was like, but no, at the same time, that's not for you to put out there and then put a stipulation of judgment on. That's like, I think that's where I'm at with this. So yeah, I 100% agree with you when it comes to that. So you just spoke a word right there, because I think a lot of people need to stop doing that. I think a lot of society does that and not really have the context, or not really having just the human like equality, or like not equality, that's not the word I was looking for, but just having the human decency to really want to relate, because I wouldn't even have spoke on that girl's trauma.
Right.
I would just say, look, she's trying to be the superstar of the show, so she's doing what she can. If that means stirring up some drama with some people or doing that, that's what she's going to do, and we accept her for that because that's who she is.
Right. Redirect the interview to talk about you. That's what most people would do. But that jealousy be blinding people.
It does. Absolutely. So they then move on to Caroline Brooks. Both Lisa Stansbury and Chanel Young. They move on to Brooks, and they were like, "Well, what happened with that whole situation? Because everybody is confused. Why does she have a problem with you?" And Stansbury was like, "I have no idea. I have done nothing wrong. All I was doing was making a fabulous joke at this lady's expense, and Brooks just took it and just made it way too personal than what it was." And I hate to admit this, y'all. I hate to admit this. Because this is going to sound, this is me fighting myself like I did with Tamika Foster on Bold and Bougie. But Stansbury is right. It was a joke, honestly. And as I told y'all, I don't think Sergio saw anything. I just think she was just being funny. I don't think, because I don't think it's real. I don't, because that sounds ridiculous. And I think the reason why it works and why people would believe it is because Stansbury is snooty. So I think that that's why it works. But I don't believe she did it with the intention to be malicious. But go over to Brooks' side of the camera. Oh, she meant that, and she was horrible. Like, who are you to judge my friend in that way? She was having fun, and it was like, wait a minute, Brooks.
Brooks,
Did
go find an AA meeting. Go find you a sponsor, baby. That's it.
Well, I'm trying to figure out, Brooks, did something happen with you and she did this?
I think Brooks is always going to be this way on TV. I don't think she's messy because she seems to have friends in her life for a long time. I think she puts on for the camera for this show. I'm personally sick of her. I'm just sick of her.
I am too, because this is coming off forced. It is. It's coming off forced. It's coming off that it has no sentiment value of like, because Talina's fine. She was like, look, I'm good with the situation. Like, yeah, it was a lot, but at the same time, I don't know this lady. And that's the standpoint we all need to be on. We don't know each other. So yeah, I could have been, that was her first impression of me, and it was bad. Hello. Like, yeah. So that was pretty much it on there. So moving on from there, Lisa's at the house with her kids and her husband. They're over there playing football, because that's what they call it in the UK, football, and in America that's soccer. So I'm going to say soccer on my channel, even though they say football on the show. Okay, that's just what it is. So they're playing soccer, and it's a very cute scene. All of her boys look identical. Like they look like all three of them are like triplets, so even though they're all different ages. It is crazy how the genetics. Hi Zeta, thank you for joining us, love. We appreciate you. But they then sit down. What is her husband's name? I always forget the husband's name on these shows. They don't be having no like
Is it
stigma.
Max or is that the boy's name?
That's the boy's name, and I was going to say that originally, but that's not what. I don't remember her husband's name, y'all. I'm so sorry. But they're having a conversation because her Lisa's mom is coming to visit from Miami, and when they show a picture, Lisa looked exactly like her mama. Like that is like literally the older version of Lisa. I was like, wow. And as I look at Lisa more, she does remind me of a lot of the Jamaican women I did see when I lived in South Florida. She does. They all have that same aesthetic look, and it's so beautiful. And
Do they
I
all
was
have the fake accent?
honestly,
I'm just saying.
I don't know if I could call that accent fake, because it does sound like
No,
what I
it's fake
hear.
because nobody develops that type of accent just over time.
Maybe because her husband has one. Maybe she wants to have one too. I don't know.
I feel like she's trying to sound like she's Jamaican, but then because when you go to other countries, they'll look at Americans and be like, eh.
Thank you, Zeta, for giving us Rich. So we gonna call him Rich. So so they were pretty much saying, her mom works the night shift so they can stay in contact, but it would be nice if her mom lived in Dubai. Her mom really ain't trying to leave Miami. Y'all. Her mom ain't, I know, trust me, when you lived in Miami, you don't never want to leave it. I have withdrawals all the time. I miss being in South Florida so much, y'all. It is crazy. So I can understand her mom having reservations, but also if we're comparing it to me trying to move to Dubai and I could live in Dubai and can afford it, I probably would take that. I'm just saying. That's just me. There's certain countries that would overbeat Miami for me. Dubai is one of them. So as they're talking, she was saying her mom does have resentment because they were only supposed to be in Dubai for 2 years and they've been in Dubai almost 10. So her mom does have resentment because, Jamaicans are close, are family oriented and they want to be close to their, family. But she done went off, got married, have a bunch of kids. Her husband's successful, she's successful. So the lifestyle works for them. So he's saying, well, maybe we can get her an apartment and let's just talk her into the idea of relocating here to Dubai. And also, Lisa said that, sometimes, being, having dual citizenship and living in Dubai, it's hard for a lot of people who do immigrate to that country because you don't have your family dynamic and they are a family dynamic country. So it is kind of hard for them. And I can understand that too. How did you feel about the scene with Lisa and her husband? And what do you think about the situation with moving her mom there?
I felt two ways about it. I think it's really sweet that they're that close, but I'm sorry, the psychologist in me is like, there's a such thing as codependency, and they're kind of borderlining that. I understand it's hard to be away from family and things like that, and it would be nice to be near her mom. She changed her work schedule to nighttime just so that she could talk to her. That's really sweet. That's really sweet. All I really have to say on the scene is I think it's nice that her husband's so on board and has that good relationship with her mom. It shows that they probably have a genuine relationship. Um, that's just my personal opinion. But other than that, if her mom comes, good. If not, they can still afford to visit her. I ain't trying to be rude, y'all. I just personally was like, okay, let's move on. Like, what else is gonna happen? I was a little bored, but I think it's sweet. You can tell there's a lot of love in their family from America to Dubai.
Yes, absolutely. And I love that as well. So, and once again, it was a very crazy episode. So much that happened in one episode. I'm like, y'all really just don't have no pacing with this show at all. Y'all just trying to throw this on us. And that's why this is not working. We'll get to that at the end. We'll get to that at the end of my opinion of the show. But moving on from there, Ayan and Sarah meet up pretty much to bury the hatchet because Ayan felt bad. We saw a scene of Ayan at her, I don't know if this was her studio or somebody's studio. She's showcasing her makeup line, and she actually has Somali women, 3 of them at least, in there to replicate the certain skin tones that they were, and how the makeup's going to work. So I hope she gets success in this one. It was cracking me up when her husband was going over the business legitimates and everything, and how he's talking about you need this, you need that. And I was like, see, that's who does the business. She's just the face. This is Lady Eloise, y'all. This is Lady Eloise. Shout out to Boomer. But they cut to a scene where she does feel bad about what she did with Sarah, and she asks her husband to write a letter. So she showcases the letter to Sarah as they're both sitting there, and she's reading the letter, and Sarah was like, "Oh, okay, you wrote this by yourself?" And she goes, "Yeah." And then they pan to the scene where her husband was actually feeding her what to say, and I'm like, "See, yeah, you could have told my husband to write this because English is hard for me." And that's what they both actually come to that conclusion by the end of this dinner. So it was stupid for her to lie like that, but whatever, it works. It's TV. But Sarah then, realizes as she was speaking, telling her the story and in the letter, she does realize that, you know, it was stupid, not really stupid, but she does regret actually saying something about this because obviously this is something that is deep rooted. And especially because other people from her African tribe have come out and actually ridiculed her for sharing that story, which is crazy to me. Because when she shared the story, it was insane. So, Mrs. Best, I want you to kind of talk on that as well. Why did you think the people actually came after Shania for this?
I am African on my mom's side, for those who don't know. I'm third generation. It's very taboo to talk about things like that happen, uh, especially over in East Africa. That's actually something that's common. And in some areas, there are tribes that are still living without electricity, things of that nature, where they still practice those rituals. So it's just taboo in the culture to speak about that. It's also a thing like Africans are very aware of how they are perceived and how they are presented. That's why when you see them here in America, 9 times out of 10 they come here, they try to work hard, they try to go to school and things like that. So I feel like that was also a thing that they were concerned about, that people would only see the negative in what she was saying versus the positive. Because there is a lot of ignorance when it comes to culture all the way around, not just with African culture.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not surprised that the people were taboo. When I was watching it, I was like, ooh, she's talking about that. I told my husband in season 1, I was like, that's go bite her in the behind with her own people. But, she's not there anymore. She's she's not there anymore. Oh, my mother's family, they're from Kenya. They're from Kenya. But yeah, it's one of those things where it can't be taboo. But I don't think that's just African culture. I've noticed like with a lot of culture outside of
Mm-hmm.
America, there's just different values, different beliefs, different ways of communicating. Like Americans, like if you tell someone like, oh, I was forced to go to church every Sunday. An American might be like, that's awful. You should have the choice to do what you want,
Right.
other cultures that's like, oh, that means you're, a humble person or a good person or
Mm-hmm.
doing the right thing. So there's just differences. But I think it's good that she, is speaking out about it because I don't think her intention was to hurt the culture. I think she was just speaking about her own pain.
And I agree with that. That's why I felt like for her to get any scrutiny behind this, that's her story to tell. I get things are culturally sensitive. And this was another thing of why I kind of side-eyed Sarah, because also in some Arab, Muslim religions, there's a lot of things that happen to women in those religions as well. So I kind of
Mhm.
felt like that would have been her moment to kind of relate, unless she didn't go through any of that herself, unless she just was completely blinded, didn't have a mama or a grandmother who didn't tell like a similar story. Like, because there's some stories out there in that religion and that culture as well that I thought they could have related on, but again, like, that went upon this. But
Yeah.
they did end up hugging it out, which I was happy for. So Ayana literally talked about female mutilation, and I don't know how Sarah can even have a comment up.
Thank you, Zeta. Thank you.
And that's what
Thank
we're saying too. That's why I was side-eyeing
Especially
Sarah the
when she
entire time.
cried about it. To see anybody cry and break down the way that Ayan did on camera about that, why would you then go and just trifling Sarah?
Even if, as I said, she could have easily killed that interview, but hey, it is what it is. So the next scene we got that I don't really care about because this was stupid to even put on TV in the first place, but it's going on in her real life. So we go to Steinsbury's friend's house. They got shit everywhere. Shoes, bags, all kind of shit. And see, if I was that friend, I'm like, no, y'all have to do something with this and clean this shit up. Because I was embarrassed for him. Like, how you gonna have somebody in your house and yeah, I agree, Naya. How you want somebody in your house and they got shit everywhere? I was like, and then he can't even get to the closet to get his stuff and get out the house. I was looking at that like, oh no, you a better friend than I ever could have been. Because I'm like, look, I don't mind y'all staying here. I got 2 rules: clean up behind yourself and wash your own clothes. Don't have my house looking like literally a storage unit. That house I was, and it's a nice house. That's why I was like, oh no, they would have me messed up. I'm like, y'all can go back to a hotel if y'all complain. But they then talk about Yasmin, her daughter, going off to college, and she said that they're actually going, her and her ex-husband and the daughter are going to the States, to look at her college and make sure she does her orientation. And Sergio has immediate reservations, and I'm looking at Sergio like, excuse me, sir, you are the 25-year-old that married this 50-year-old woman with kids that are on your same age. What the hell did you think was gonna happen? Well, I mean, does the elevator not go up to the top for you? Like, yes, this woman has to go with the father of her child to go look at colleges because he's involved. Like, I don't understand what you don't get about that. That shit had me floored. I was like, wow. And then he was just being so immature about it. He goes, "What if you and your husband catch feelings?" And and then she made a joke because I did the same thing. Well, hell, you can come live with us. If we decide to get back together, then you can just come live with us.
Listen, it has nothing to do with being 25 either. I got married at 19. Okay. If you confident in your marriage, if you confident in your partner, if you confident in your love, whatever the hell it may be, you should not have worry if the person goes with their ex, or in this case, yes, it's an ex, but it's like it's the father of their child, and the girl is going to college for the first time. And this just proves to you that she probably will never look at you like a stepdaddy because they're so close in age. She said, I don't need for that man to be there. But did he really cry? That's what I want to know, because I was trying to figure out.
Yeah, he cried. Yeah, there was some
I heard
tears.
don't cry. I looked up and I couldn't catch it, y'all. I got my vision
Yes,
appointment.
yeah.
I can't see. But
Yes.
Lord.
I'm gonna say it for you, friend. Yes, that fool cried over that. Yes, he cried. And it's what Naya said here. No, he's clueless and codependent and a little selfish. And that's because, honestly, I think he has mama issues. I know we saw his parents on the show, but I think he has mama issues, y'all. This is what this is.
He has to, because no shade. Like, I know some people be dating, like, with huge age gaps, but she looked like his mama, act like his mama, and he act like her child.
She could have had him. That's the point. That's what we try. This lady is 50 years old. This man's only 25, 26, 27. She could have had him. And that's the thing. She's starting to realize, and I don't think she's going to admit it on camera, she's starting to realize that this whole marriage was superficial for maintenance. She needed some maintenance because she probably wasn't getting the tune-ups and oil changes in her first marriage the way she was supposed to, because the man was always gone. She's 50 years old. Y'all know women getting a sexual peak around that age. So, yeah, this is for maintenance. But she didn't know that this man was going to come with all this codependency and all this, baby syndrome the way he is. So that's what she get. And that's what you get when you do. Ladies, let me explain something to y'all. That is what y'all get when y'all marry men this young, with this much of an age gap.
Yeah.
And because any man that's willing to marry you just offhand and kissing your feet and everything like that, that's because they have mama issues. They want their mama. They probably didn't have the mama because mama was probably either, and probably in his case, because I don't want to speak on it because I don't know how his mama was. So this is allegedly coming out. His mama probably wasn't emotionally available. Probably not there is because she had to get all that to her husband. A lot of the times in other countries, attention to the children wasn't really that much of an importance the way it is here in the States, where you do need to give your child all of your attention. And sometimes we fail that with our children here in the States too. And I feel like he was just a child. He was just like a child that didn't get enough attention. So he married this old ass lady so he can get that attention because she's going to give it to him because of her needs. But as I said,
stop calling her that old ass lady. I'm over here trying not to laugh. He just y'all, James, tell me I'm lying, has casually called Stanberry an old lady more than 7 times, and I'm here for it. You can't just get with this old lady.
Okay, she's not old. She's middle aged. Okay,
no,
now
she is old.
She's middle aged, but the problem she act like old money. It's like she act like the Queen of England. Like it's very much given that. So I'm saying old with the impression of her character, not saying her age. Y'all don't come after me talking about I'm ages, because at the end of the day, it is what it is. The lady old, so I can't. She older. She's middle aged. Okay, she's too old to be doing the shit she doing. I'll put it that way. She's too old to be marrying that little boy, and she need to go back with her husband.
She seems like the type, and this was probably a reach, but Stansbury seems like the type that married that man because she was like, oh, well, the young man seems to have fallen in love. May as well, go all the way. I feel like that's the attitude she has towards marriage.
I just said, yep. Me and Naya on the same page.
So
me and Naya on the same page.
She acts like she's high-board British. I mean, she has been rich forever. Ladies of London was on TV.
Yes, I remember that show. I forgot that was her. Yes, that lady has been rich for 40 years, and she's not changing that. And the problem is, the thing about this is they're living off her. They may not admit it. Allegedly, they're living off her. I could tell they're living off her and that spousal. I could tell they're living off that.
Stop
so, girl, that husband was rich. That man, I remember her. That husband was rich. So, yeah, we're not even going to play like this was for maintenance.
I will say, though, she did say that the marriage ended because he traveled all the time, not because the love ended.
Boom.
So,
I caught that too.
Even though Sergio is a young, tenderoni that's tripping. He's a simp, can't stand him. I do think he has some type of a point. When people be breaking up because of time, it doesn't mean they're not in love. They just don't have the fucking time to be together. So I don't know. We'll see. Carolyn, Miss Stansberry, nobody mad at you if you get with your ex, because I am tired of looking at this boy. I'm tired of it. My little brother is more mature.
I'm tired of him too, but at the same time, I'm not mad at him because if he played his cards right, which I'm playing, like for me, I would play my cards right because I know at some point I'm gonna get on this lady's nerves at some point. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put some shit aside and build up my reputation on this show and kind of Simon Gubati of the shit, and then I'm about to that's what I would do. If I was him, I would do it the same way.
If Bravo was smart, this is just a random thing that I was talking to my husband about. He was just looking at me. I should have been texting James. But I feel like they need to just keep it real. I want them to do like not the Housewives series, but like a series with like either husbands from Housewives or ex-husbands or ex-partners from Housewives, because these Sergio's definitely on the way to being an ex. I don't foresee this love lasting. I just don't. But I feel like that would be interesting. So what does Sergio do? I don't think he does anything. I know his family has money.
He drives the pink Porsche that to carry her around everywhere. And yes, his family does have money. Not Caroline Stansberry money. Definitely not that. But his family does have a little bit. They're not poor, is what I'm going to say. Let me read some of these comments because y'all cracking me up in these comments. Like, always time for high tea, and he wants mommy and a dolly. It's not about kids. Because he could adopt or do a surrogate, absolutely. Especially if she got the money she claims she did. Yeah, absolutely. I just finished binging season 1, and she didn't even want to marry him, so I don't know why she went ahead and did it.
Thank you, Zeta. Where you been?
Because it's maintenance. I'm telling y'all, this is maintenance. This is for her to get, when y'all get hoopties and buckets and stuff, you got to keep the oil and the spark plugs and the tune-ups together. That's what this is. Like, I don't understand. Like, yes, this is an old Cadillac. She an old Cadillac. She got to get tuned up every now. And let me tell you, she ain't no ordinary Cadillac too. This lady is a Cadillac Seville. Y'all know, if y'all know anything about cars, back in the 80s when they made Cadillac Sevilles, them things was mean when you didn't put no gas and when you put no oil. And like you could just have a little drop of gas, that car wasn't finna start. They're like, you got me messed up. I'm hungry. Feed me. Get this gas in this car. When you had the oil in it, that thing would cut off, and the engine wouldn't explode. It would just, the oil light would come on and say, "Nope, I ain't moving nowhere to put some oil in me. I ain't gonna do that." That's what Cadillac Seville. So Caroline Stansberry is a Cadillac Seville. Dang. Think of that. So that's how I'm gonna describe her. He used to be a soccer player too. Well, then what the hell happened? Why would you let that go over this old ass? Let me stop. Thank you, Zeta. We appreciate your comment. I'm gonna stop.
Oh yeah, that was a joke last season because he was like he played professional soccer, but then he didn't actually play. But he was on.
And that's another thing. I think the psychological HK_X. I think that's also the psychological part of it. She wanted a husband that was always available because the last one wasn't. But see, Stansberry, this is where you messed up at, because now you got some old clingy ass little boy hanging on to you like a purse, and you can't get rid of him now because he's gonna be all up your ass, and everything you do, you now need to consider him. That shit gonna get old real quick. Watch, I tell you, I'll give them one more season. She gonna file for divorce because it's gonna get old. It's gonna get old very quick. But moving on, y'all, because we can spend way more time on Stansberry than I would ever want to, because I don't like that lady. So I'm just going to move it on along here. So we are at oh no, hold on, we gotta see what stands. Brooks. You see how I was about to write Brooks off, y'all, because I don't like Brooks either. So
I don't blame you.
Yeah, but I was going to write Brooks off, but we can't because this is a very important part. So Brooks is at her salon. Shit is breaking. Water is all over. Pipes are busting. Leaks are happening. And she's getting frustrated. So Talene walks in with her little girl, and they're going to get their nails done. And she sees that Brooks is under a lot of stress, and maybe that could be what's going on with this whole her Stansberry thing. So, sorry, I'm just saying. But she then tells her, I'm having, a party, and I did invite Stansberry because I would like to still get to know her. That's just could have been like, just something that just happened, and we don't know each other. Maybe she's really sweet. And Brooks is like, nah, now she meant that. And she said that she's evil and she's violent. Why would you invite her to this party? And I'm looking at this lady like, first of all, I know we in your establishment, but you're not going to be hollering at me. You ain't going to be talking to me like this. I invited the lady, and that's who's coming to my party. You either bring your ass there or you don't. All this extra mess that's going on, I don't know what the fuck going on with you, but you need to go sit in somebody's therapy office if you going this crazy or me mentioning somebody's name and me invited to a party when you don't pay nothing their bill in my house. I would have went off. Talene better than I have. The word on the curb is that her and Talene have fell out recently. That's word on the curb. I don't know how true it is, but Mrs. Best called it. Mrs. Best called it. They said somewhere down the season we're going to see these two fall out. And I don't blame Talene because Brooks is a lot. And we don't even know where this is even coming from. So I don't blame you, Talene, not one bit. So the party's here, and Talene is setting up. She was going over the liquor licenses, and if Dubai is really like this, we're gonna get some liquor in the hotel. I'm glad y'all changed some laws because I mean it would have worked for me because I would have been just somebody that's just visiting. And if I'm already in a hotel, I'm gonna go to a hotel bar. But it was just hearing that. I'm just like, dang, you can't even buy liquor for your house. You gotta have a license. Okay, they got it strict as hell. I love it. But she's setting up and she's explaining her parents, because her parents ended up showing up. Her father was a lawyer and he has a practice in Abu Dhabi and also in Washington, D.C. So overall, he comes back and forth, which works out perfectly. They got the perfect little setup here because then when they want to see the kids, they can come see the kids. And so it's not like Lisa and her mama situation where her mom works at the hospital and, they have to kind of force her to come out. Well, not force her, but like kind of not have her available as much as Lisa wants to. But Talene parents said, we're going to move up there too. And we're going to have it. That's something my mom would do. If I moved to Dubai, my mom would move up to Dubai with me. She really would. And then she would come back to the States to be with my other siblings and then come back. She would go back and forth. She really would. So I appreciated her parents for doing that. They have a whole bunch of other people come up. Sarah shows up. Her Alexander McQueen dress was beautiful. One thing I'm going to say about Sarah, I might not like Sarah too much, but Sarah can dress her ass off. She's so beautiful. Sarah comes in and, meets the family and everything. And then here come Brooks coming in loud as hell with her cousin. And I said, that's just like black people. Just like black people. Coming up in their people's house, hollering and yelling and stuff. She already turned up. And her cousin, even her cousin had said, look, chill. Especially when Stansberry got there. Her cousin's like, look, chill. What are you doing too much? And I was like, yeah, see, that's the cousin on the come up. That's me. So Caroline Brooks, that's me. I'm that cousin. I'm trying to come up on the come up. What is you into? I gotta make sure it's legit. If it's legit, my ass is gonna be right there with you. I'm trying to make this millions. Come on. So Chanel and I come in there once again with a damn gown on, and I'm just like, she gonna keep doing this to us, y'all, all season. Just be prepared. Like I
don't blame her for wearing the gowns and stuff because I'm sure she's making a pretty penny for them. What I'm upset about is the choice of wigs. Her wig lines just are her wigs are never glued down, attached, plucked right. And Chanel is a beautiful woman, so I need her to fix the wigs. The gowns, though, we'll get tired of it. I said that season 1, I was like, I yawn in what she's doing with the gowns and the couture wear. It will get old quickly. Just keeping it real. Half of that shit look crazy too.
It do. Yeah, that's how you took the words right out of my mouth. That shit look crazy. Like, I'm sorry, it just do. Like, but I'm just saying, put on some regular clothes and put you on a decent wig, please, next time. Thank you.
I want her to put on like some leggings.
Have on a nice blouse and just to showcase her legs and wear some heels, and she ain't got to do all of that. No, she just don't. Like, it's just every time I see her, I'm just like, Lord. So Stansberry get there and automatically, as I said, Brooks had an attitude. She didn't want to say hi to her. She's like, why is she here? And just turned up, and she's been drinking, getting margaritas, y'all. Brooks is turned all the way up. And
in every episode where there's liquor, I just feel like I should add that.
Right. And we're just like, and everyone's like, Brooks, like, you're not going to say hi to Caroline Stansberry. Now, one thing I will say, Sarah, I'm going to put you in your place real quick. It's not up to you if I want to speak to somebody or not. Like, I don't care if I can see her. I'll speak to her when I'm ready to speak to her. I did not like Sarah for that. because I don't like when people tell me to go speak to somebody. I
And
can
if the
speak to.
tables was turned, Sarah would be like, I need them to respect where I'm at and respect what I need. So don't tell nobody else, Sarah, what they need to do.
Right, exactly. But Brooks put her best foot forward and actually goes to speak to Sergio and Stansberry. And this whole time that they're sitting there, to was it no, it was Sarah. Sarah was all like trying to tame her this entire time, and Brooks is white girl wasted and all humping on her and stuff, and Shania ain't making it better, kicking her leg up in her ass and shit. And it was like, what are we looking at here? What is going on? Are you that damn drunk? She was smooching on her. Sarah's like, oh, get her off of me, get her off of me. But it's like, what if you the one that's hugging up on her? Like, what, you did this to yourself. Like, come on, Sarah get on my nerves sometimes because I'm telling you, she knows what she be doing. And it's trying to make a whole scene out of nothing. So finally, Talene and Brooks are outside. It was Sarah and I think no, Ayan didn't come out there yet. So they're talking, and she goes, "Look, I don't know why you invited her to your party. You know she's disrespectful. You don't know this lady. She don't know you." And we're like, "Oh my god, she is making all this noise in these people's apartment and things." And I'm just looking, what is the point of this? So what? She don't know her. She at the party so she can get to know her. What the fuck is the problem? I'm trying to figure this out, Brooks. You're not making any sense to me right now. What is the problem?
I want at work sometimes, listen, sometimes our patients act a fool at work and I have to do a urinary analysis. I'd be wanting to do that to Brooke so bad through the TV because in my mind, nobody acts like that just off of alcohol. I'm not saying she has a drug problem or nothing, but sometimes we say alcohol with certain medications and have you acted a fool. Because Brooke's like, if you look at the camera, her she's trying to make a fetch happen. Naya. If you look at the camera, this lady's slurring her words. Her eyes, she really was when Stansberry said that she was struggling to hold her eyes open. She's leaning, eyes rolling to the back of her head, back to the front, to the side, left, right, dropping it low and coming back up. I mean, the lady is obviously so inebriated that she could barely function. And I'm like, nobody gets that drunk that fast either because she was drinking with her friend Talene, who was also drunk, but Talene seemed more balanced. So I'm looking at Brooks like, girl.
Celine, or whatever that lady's name is. I think it's Talene. I think someone said Celine. Whatever that lady's name is. She was like the type of drunk where she was fun.
Yeah.
Brooks was like that battered, angry ass woman who was just, wanted to be mad about something.
Sloppy.
And she's making this a storyline. She's exaggerating all this. She is, and it's very obvious because when Stansberry brought her ass out there and sat down, she was like, I only said it as like a joke. It was a joke, Brooks. Like, why are you taking this such like literal? I did not mean any harm to you, Talene. It was just more so I was trying to just, make a joke that you like to have fun. And Talene was like, yeah, like I kind of got that too. And Brooks like, no, that's not what happened and anything. And Stansberry was like, I'm gonna leave because I ain't got time for this. And as I said, she walked the ass out there. She, the rich white lady of the bunch. She gonna walk her ass out there. And even Ayan and Sarah was like, Brooks, you tripping. Like, she did not mean it like that. Like, you are going crazy. She goes, no, I know her. I know the bitch. And she called her a whole bunch of other things, too, like I said, my channel. And I'm just like, are we missing something here? Did something else happen? I mean, when she told you the story, did she say, look, I saw a bump there? I don't know. What is the problem? Because you can't be this mad. You can't be this mad. No, and you know what's funny, Naya, that you bring this up? Like, I think what it is, because the breakout stars, y'all, were Caroline Stansberry, Chanel Ayan, and Lisa Milan. It was
Yep.
them three.
Nobody else really mattered.
Nobody else mattered. And I think she is angry because she thought, because she was friends with Phaedra and all of that she was going to be the breakout star of the show. I really think that she thought that. And if it wasn't going to be, if she had to share it, she would have much rather have shared it with Lisa Milan and Shana Ayan versus Stansberry getting attention. But this is what I'm going to tell you, Brooks. Brooks, I'm going to tell you this. And listen to me when you're on my YouTube channel, you're watching this video. Listen to me very clearly, Brooks. Stansberry is a white lady who had a relationship with Bravo before Housewives was even a thing. She was going to be popular on the show one way or another.
I
I
don't
don't
even think
understand.
it's that deep. I think everybody, even commenting, is tripping a little bit. Here's why. I don't argue with drunk people. I don't talk about drunk people. Because 9 times out of 10, the shit that they saying is gonna come out wrong, or they're gonna say some fuck shit, or what they're saying is just not gonna make any sense. Like we're saying in the comments, Brooks, and I've been saying this, I've been saying it. This lady's been drunk since season 1 now, and it took over a year for this season to come. So there's no, oh, I'm just doing this for the camera and all of this. Like, I really do think that she got some type of an issue because there's no reason to be that drunk that fast. I don't know if it's alcohol, maybe it's depression and she's just emotionally drinking. Whatever the hell it is, production needs to have a conversation with this woman and explain to her that she needs to be a little more sober when she's on camera, especially with all the allegations Bravo has going on with Leah McSweeney, Beverly Frankel, and several others alleging that Bravo like liquors the housewives up and stuff, and then they do stuff they regret. Like Bravo should probably do something at the reunion or whatever, because I'm getting tired of seeing this lady drunk. And Stansberry did the right thing by getting up and walking away, because that's what I do when people be drunk and tripping and wanting to start an argument or have a conversation. I won't even let it get far. I'm walking away. I'll talk to you when you've had some water and a prayer. That's how I feel.
Yeah, I wouldn't even talk to her. But y'all, that was the end of the episode. But y'all, that was crazy. Like, I can't believe I'm on Stansbury's side with this. I thought for sure. I know I was gonna be on Brooke's side. I thought I'd have been like mutual, like they both tripping, they both crazy. But no, I understand. Like, I could see how Stansbury would have made that a little joke. If Talene was not offended by the joke, then why are we carrying this? We ain't got nothing else, y'all.
Because she don't want to look crazy, because she defended her friend before her friend acknowledged that she needed to be defended, and then her friend ended up going and forgiving her. Like, separate from the drunkenness, I wouldn't do that to you. Like, if you defend me publicly and it's some shit I'm over with before I meet with the person who you just made beef with on because of me, I would at least like confer with you first about that. And it doesn't look like that happened with Talene, but due to how drunk Brooks was, it's like I can't even side with you, boo. You got to sober up before I could side with your argument.
It's not, and then that's another thing too. It's like, and I think honestly, producers did put a battery in her back because there's nothing else going on this season as well. They, you know what? Honestly, I'm gonna say this. This is what I think of the show so far. They need one more lady on here, but they need a wild card. I don't think Talene is the wild card I would have liked for the show.
They need to
They
only
need,
film the Housewives of Dubai on vacation because they can only do and say so much in Dubai. We're only going to see them drunk at fashion shows or at their houses doing stuff because of all the laws and customs out there.
right.
They can't truly be or show their authentic selves or even anything close to that with where they are, especially on camera. And Dubai did fight this show for many years.
Yeah.
They did fight the show. So, you know, he said, I hope they don't exploit her. I feel like they're going to exploit Brooks. It's
Absolutely,
already
they're going to
happening.
exploit Brooks. It's already happening. They're going to exploit her because, to me, there's something about her not authentic anyway. So when you're not authentic, yes, things could fall under the cracks and it's going to explode. I feel like to me, she's just somebody who's just angry at life, and I don't understand why. Like, if I had a better understanding, maybe I would be
She's
more
stuck in
sympathetic.
Dubai. She until her son is grown, because that man will probably sue her left and right if she take that child away. Anyway, I'm trying to tell you, she needs
Probably.
therapy.
No, she does, but then, but that's what you get. If this is really what it is, like we're saying allegedly because we don't know the lady. But if that's really what it is, that ain't nobody's fault for yours for moving out there and doing all this. I'm just saying that's nobody's fault but yours. The shit didn't get you another man, or maybe she don't want another man from. Maybe she doesn't want that. Maybe
They don't want her either out there. She's too loud.
she's too loud. She's too controlling.
Yeah.
You can't go out there thinking you finna control. That is not a woman liberated free. I'm sorry, and I hate to say this, y'all, but it's not. It's not a woman liberated free country. Yes, it's not. It's not a free country really for anybody, really. It's a country where you can make money, you live lavish in the privacy of your own home, and do what you want in your own home, and you come out and you socialize and you do what everybody else is doing. Which is why, even though I've had friends tell me, I've had now 4 gay friends tell me they all went to Dubai and it was not what it seems. That don't change how them laws are written.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying.
They exist for a reason.
Yes. So Sarah ain't like I need somebody else. I need somebody else on this show. One like probably another Sarah aesthetic, but someone who isn't full of shit. Like yeah, I need somebody that ain't full of shit.
They're
Like I
gonna
need
keep Sarah though because she is
she's the representation.
Dubai.
I get it.
She's the
Yeah,
only
she's
representation of Dubai.
yeah, I get it. But I need another. I need like a Phaedra esque Sarah. Does that exist?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does. It
Uh,
does. Brooke
so
and Sarah do need to go though. I think those are the two that they definitely do need to get rid of.
they're gonna get rid of Brooks for sure. I don't think they're gonna keep her. They already got Lisa Milan and Chanel Ayan. They're not gonna keep Brooks. They're gonna keep Talene and get rid of Brooks. And then I need y'all to find y'all. She got to be out there. She got to be out there in Dubai. I need a Phaedra esque Sarah, another representation of Dubai out there. I know she out there. So y'all get that, and then we'll be fine. Because I need something to spice up on the show. Because they're not doing it.
Yeah.
They're just not. Nothing is entertaining about this show. And the surprising factor is we did shits and giggles over Caroline Stansberry and Sergio for 10 minutes. That's why this video was so long. But otherwise, the video wouldn't have been as long as it was. It just
Which proves that you don't need drunken, volatile, below the belt people like Sarah and Brooks on the show for entertainment. I feel like as a whole, the Housewives, not to get all deep on y'all, really most of the shows on Bravo right now have been suffering from that. Like you don't have to have volatile, drunken messes. People can be interesting without going too low. That's how these Housewives shows ended up getting popular. So hopefully they, figure that out. But
oh, I forgot to mention that. She was in the she will help Ayan, but she's also helping Brooks too. Um, Sarah, stop helping people. Let them fall on their own swords. Stop helping people. Because your kind of help comes with too many contingencies and conditions for me. I'm just saying. So don't help nobody else. Thank you, HK_X for that. I definitely appreciate you bringing that up because I totally forgot she had said that. And I don't need her helping nobody else. Help your damn self. That's all I'm saying. But that was it, y'all. That was Real Housewives of Dubai. I'm sorry I'm late with this video. I had a really busy week this week. So we'll be back on my channel tomorrow for a little updates video. We'll be on Mrs. Best's channel for Never Ever Met. So I got to go watch that. Is this the season finale of Never Ever Met?
No, Shayna was asking me. It's not the season finale of Never Ever Met. It looks like the season finale will be next week, but Shayna will be joining me. I've been talking to her about that. James will also be there as well. That's a given. And then Deb's house, I will be watching that as soon as I'm done with this live. If I like the show, I'll recap it. If I'm like, because Miss Deb is like, for me, I have a love-hate relationship with her shows. So
I'm gonna tell you like this because I did watch it. It was nothing like I thought it was going to be. I'm gonna leave you for your opinion because if you decide to recap it, I will come on your channel and do the co-hosting with you for this. But I'm gonna tell you, from my perspective, it's not something I can do. I'll pick up the other show.
You see why I said I was up and down though on doing it? That's why I didn't want to announce
yes.
it. WeTV does that, especially with anything that does Thug Life. Thank you, Naya. I love it, girl.
Thank you, Naya. But yeah, that's not for me. I was like, I'm gonna do the Houston show, the real estate, since I want to go back into real estate.
That is for you. I saw a trailer for that. That is totally for you.
Yes, I'm going to pick up that show. I decided I'm going to go ahead and pick up that one just because that one just seemed a little bit more.
That's what therapy on Showtime as well. I guess they put it.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, I gotta. If you don't have it, I'll give you my login or something. But you would have been. That's something you need to be. I just feel like you're good with relationships and shit. Like discussing them.
Not anymore. Not after my failed relationship.
I'm
No,
talking about discussing them.
no, I'm not even like that no more. I can't even tell
Oh
you.
hell.
Do you review scripted? I can. If you have a suggestion, HK_X, leave it in my comments box. I definitely.
Scripted is weird though. I was talking to Shayna about that because I did The Shy and James was on one of those with me, but it's hard depending on the type of show. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
I think because you came in later in the season and did it, I
no,
think
that
if
was
we
the
would have.
first episode.
No, I'm set. The first episode of the season 1.
No, of I didn't do it from season 1 because that wouldn't have made
That's what I'm
sense.
saying. I think if you would start from a show from season 1, so if there's a show that just started from season 1, I will look into it, and if it's something I could talk about, then absolutely, because I am a writer, so that's what I like doing. But at the same time, a lot of these shows don't pique my interest because they're the same things over and over again, which is why I feel like I'm actually writing a book right now that is completely off the grid. Like, yeah, there's nothing out here that exists the way this book exists. So hopefully I can get it out this year. I'm trying to finish it now. I'm at 15,000 words. I have 60,000 to go. So I'm trying to get this done this year, y'all. But yes, I have a book that's going to come out. It's going to be absolutely crazy. And I picked key components of inspiration for this book, so I'm really excited about it. So this isn't scripted, but just so you should ever check out Real Housewives.
Oh, Real Housewives of Miami. I'll be recapping that.
We'll be on her channel. Yeah, we'll be on Mrs. Best's channel for that.
I love Miami. Underrated.
Yeah, I'm going to do that with her because I'm really enjoying doing New Jersey with her. I really am. So I'm enjoying. Yeah, I'm enjoying
it again. Wait a second. He would y'all James.
Oh, sure. Housewives of Melbourne.
Oh,
Melbourne. I didn't know that exists. Okay,
there's a lot of housewives that they've been like putting out that don't come on TV, and I feel like the ones that don't come on TV are better than the ones that we have on syndicated cable or whatever the hell they call it.
Okay, I'll look into that. I've never knew that, but I'll do that one. Okay. I'll look into it. But yeah, Real Housewives of Miami will definitely be on Mrs. Best's channel. I will definitely be tuning into that one. And as I said, I'm enjoying New Jersey so far. As far as doing the recaps. So yes. But we'll see what happens, y'all. But that's it, y'all. Real Housewives do. I'm gonna get up on out of here so I can catch Never Ever Mets, and also I'm gonna watch House of Debs one more time to see if I really didn't like it. I didn't. I was like, it wasn't that I was bored. It was just like, okay, y'all are trying to play with people. So yes,
we have similar taste. So more than likely, if you feel that way,
you might like it. It may just be me make it. And also, I was tired watching it too, so that could have played in the factor.
I can't watch stand Miss Deb sometimes. So
me either. So that's one of the things I'm really scared about. If you decide to pick it up, I don't know how I'm gonna contain myself. So yes. So yes, we'll see. But thank you guys once again for everyone being in the chat. I enjoyed you guys. This was a fun recap. I didn't think we were gonna have this much fun, but I had a blast, y'all. Thank you, Mrs. Best, for being here, doing this with me again. Last minute, I know. I'm sorry, but I'm glad it worked out.
It wasn't last minute.
Yes, I know. All right, well, thank you guys. We'll see you guys on the next recap. Be here tomorrow for also Fraternity Row. I will be reading the next couple chapters of my book. I probably will start that early. I'll put something on my community page. Have your books out, and we'll go forward from there. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.